Australian champion Mark the Hammer Castanini and make his way to the ring. The biggest test of this young man's career. Tonight, he is shooting for the world super welterweight title over 12 rounds against arguably, pound for pound, the greatest kickboxer on the planet at the moment. He is Shannon, the F-16 Forrester, and he is representing the hopes, not only of Queensland, but the hopes of a nation. The F-16 Shannon Forrester, one of Australia's great Muay Thai exponents, forced to leave his knees and elbows home tonight and go out under kickboxing rules against Iron Mike Zambidis from Greece. The mythical slow music of Shannon Forrester, he is in the zone. He is psyched and he is ready, and this huge crowd is right behind him. Oh, and here he comes! Make his way to centering, being led by Stan the Man Longanides, the pint-sized dynamo, the pocket pitbull terrier, the Punisher from Portafigo, Athens. They call him Iron Mike Zambidis. Arguably pound for pound the greatest kickboxer on the planet at the moment, this man Grease Lightning, the current world champion, Michael Zambidis. Zambidis with the biggest test of his career thus far, going up against Shannon Forrester of Australia here tonight. It is set for 12 twos under kickboxing rules for the Super Welterweight Championship of the world. Grease Lightning, Michael Zambidis with Stan the Man Longanides. Billy Hartman opens up the ropes, and we're going to get underway in what should be a classic match. And speaking of classics, let's go to ring announcer, Mr. Andy Raymond.
Ladies and gentlemen, under USA rules, the following contest is for the World Super Welterweight title. We are scheduled for 12 two-minute rounds. Introducing first and fighting out of the blue corner tonight, he comes in as the challenger and weighing in at 68.1 kilograms. The South Pacific Muay Thai champion, ladies and gentlemen, representing the Boonju Gym here on the Gold Coast, I present to you Shannon F-16 Forrester! Occupying the red corner and first introducing his manager, an 8-time world champion and living legend of the sport, has just completed the film Trojan Warrior, where he stars and sets to be released in cinemas soon. Please welcome to Queensland, as I said, a living legend, Stan the Man Longanides. He brings to the Gold Coast his protege this evening, hailing from Athens, Greece, and weighing in at 67.75 kilograms. An amateur boxing record of 44-2 with 35 wins via way of knockout. As a professional kickboxer, 27-1 wins via way of knockout. I introduce to you the Super Welterweight Champion of the World, Iron Mike Zambidis. Ladies and gentlemen, when the bell sounds, the man in charge of the action, the living legend himself, Mr. Dave Hedgecock.
In the centre of the ring, please. Centre of the ring, Michael.
Living legend Dave Hedgecock with final minute instructions.
All right, you're both aware of the rules. You know, it's USA rules. There's no knees, no spinning backwards. Listen to what I call, in case for knockdown, the person that's crowd to knockdown must go to the furthest neutral corner before I start counting. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yep. When I ask for a break, I want a good, clean break. Listen to what I call. Okay, and we'll have a good, clean fight. Good luck.
You can cut the atmosphere here with a knife. Warner Brothers movie world on the Gold Coast, Michael Chavello. Ringside with the hammer, Mark Castanini. Bradley. And also joining us, the super promoter, Tarek Solak. Good evening, Tarek.
Good evening, boys. How are you?
We are fantastic. Thank you for putting on a great night, and this should be a cracker. The world title on the line. Super welterweight world title, Michael Zambidis and Shannon Forrester. We are set for 12 two-minute rounds. Zambidis arguably, pound for pound, the greatest kickboxer on the planet at the moment. And Shannon Forrester, the biggest test of his decorated career, Tarek.
Definitely a big test for Shannon, because if Shannon does well on this fight, win, lose or draw, he gets a chance to rematch Michael Zambidis on November 11 on the K1 Oceania with knees, where Shannon is more experienced on.
So much interest in this one. Ringside, some great celebrities of the game, including Bob Jones, his soon-to-be-released book, Let the Good Times Roll, Hammer, and a bit of backstage psych up there from Bob Jones with Shannon Forrester.
Well, interesting to note, the chief, Bob Jones, actually went and visited Shannon in his change room before this fight. and Shannon Forrester, one of the Bob Jones Corporation boys, many moons ago, Zendo Kai student in the freestyle karate. Bob said, "You've got to do something for me, Shannon. You've got to bring this one home. Do it for the chief." And Shannon is very, very focused and intent on delivering what the godfather of Aussie kickboxing has asked of him to do, Bob Jones. And that is something a little bit backstage, a little bit that we wouldn't really be privy to.
You heard it first there, the right uppercut, the left uppercut there from Iron Mike Zambidis. What a cracker. A real feeling out process at the moment though, Tarek Solak, and this one brought to us by a new sponsor of K1 Max, TLC.
Yes, TLC is a new sponsor of ours, and they're thinking of going nationwide. Well, first we have a meeting with them tomorrow straight after the show. But action back to Michael Zambidis. In my mind, he is pound for pound at the moment the best fighter in the world, and we just saw just then with that combination, not only the strength but the hand speed and the kick that comes after it.
He is such a beautifully put together fighter, reminiscent of a young Standerman Longanese, of course, a much smaller version. Great handiwork and leg kicks on this little fella from Greece. A beautiful couple of left hooks, right uppercut combination, then digs away with a body shot to the right ribcage to Zambidis. Hammer, hard to find a fault on Michael Zambidis. 3 times in Australia, 3 victories. The first one over Baris Nazif, the second one over Krong Saklek, the third one in 20 seconds over Paul Shearing.
Well, you can just look at Zambidis. He's always on the balls of his feet, always moving, and his hand speed is probably his greatest asset. He is absolutely lightning fast. Grease lightning, pardon the pun, when he throws those punches, Tarek. He is something special. He is something we've not seen on the K1 circuit to date. He is something that is new to Australia, and of course one of the upcoming great fighters of the world.
Yes, I actually done some pad work with him earlier on the week, and as I said, his strength is definitely there, but with the strength, he's got that hand speed, which reminds me of Gurkhan Özkan on his good days. And the speed and the strength, when you put it together, and he knows how to punch and kick this boy. You can put him together, and he's a super fit fighter where he can go 12 rounds and put on the same heat on the 12th round just like the first.
Of course, you really discovered Michael Zambidis in Greece of last year, Tarek Solak, when you're touring around Europe. Standard Man had him under his wing, and he is Stan's young protege.
We're into round number 2.
Stan is looking after him as a manager, and we're just in negotiations of signing him off for 3 years as a promoter in Australia.
You heard it first from the super promoter Tarek Solak ringside with myself, Michael Chavello, and the Hammer Mark Castanini, coming to you from Warner Brothers Movie World on the Gold Coast.
Well, Tarek, you held the pads for Zambidis. You said, what would you call his greatest asset? What's his best technique?
Speed and strength on his hands and his leg, and he's got a very well balanced stance, very well balanced.
It's pretty much all round then. So
he's an all-round fighter.
Well, the low centre of gravity being such a short, stocky fighter on Michael Zambidis, and still a real feeling out process in centre ring. 30 seconds down in the second round. Nice body shot inside leg kick combination there from Zambidis.
I'll tell you what, Shannon, of course, as I stated earlier, his real strength is in his Thai technique, so he's somewhat disadvantaged by taking on a USA rules fight. Of course, he's not allowed a knee and he's not allowed an elbow, and for mine, that's what I would call Shannon's strength.
You can hear the tub-thumping body shots there from Iron Mike Zambidis, and just takes one a little bit south of the border.
On the box, keep it up.
Let's not forget that if Shannon puts up a good fight today, he will have a rematch in November 11 with knees against Michael Zambidis. And also on that card, as we all know, Prince Amir came out of retirement just to fight Michael Zambidis on November 11. And we've got Chopper Chapman and many others.
Well, all roads lead to Michael Zambidis on November 11th, who will be crowned the K1 Max King of the Oceania in that 8-man elimination tournament.
That show in November is absolutely going to be a corker. Tarek, can I put myself down for a ticket for that one now?
Yes, you can, and TLC is sponsoring that, and they've already accepted the sponsorship deal on that one, so I'm looking forward for a great show.
Other beautiful body shots on the right uppercut from Zambidis. He might have wobbled Shannon Forrester with that one. Forrester forced to cover up in the red corner now. Zambidis unloading on him. Here comes Grease Lightning Iron Mike Zambidis. High left round kick there from Zambidis. Forrester's got to get out of the red corner. He's got to move out of there. Zambidis won't let him go. More body shots and headshots from Iron Mike Zambidis. This is why Zambidis is the greatest kickboxer on the planet.
I'm going to give you a standing count of 8. Can you okay? 1, 2,
and a standing 8 count to end the round, Hammer. My word, Iron Mike Zambidis.
Well, Zambidis just getting a full head of steam there. Really, really battering Forrester, unfortunately.
I don't know who to give the credit to. Zambidis hitting him so well, or Shannon staying there so tough. I tell you what, I respect both these men, and in my mind, Zambidis has already deserved the rematch from what I can see so far.
Well, I'll tell you what, Forrester is absolutely covered. I think he's trying to wait for Zambidis to punch himself out. with regards to use his energy, but Zambidis is just a little ball of energy, and that's not really going to happen. Shannon really needs to go with him and fight it out. He really needs to throw the leg kicks. Probably that rear round kick to the lead thigh of Zambidis, the only opening there that Shannon would have. Keep his guard up and then roll a leg kick on Zambidis to at least keep the score rate ticking over for himself rather than just covering.
As an ex-fighter, Michael, you would, Mark, you would respect that when you're under so much pressure, it's so hard to just kick that.
It's what I always say, Tarek. It's easy for me to sit here and call the things, but it's much harder to do it in centre ring. And you really got to just hold your head high when you're in the ring. And Shannon Forrester is certainly doing that.
Jeez, I'll tell you what, I take a look at Shannon Forrester, and I thank God that I was never a fighter. I tell you what, he has taken a battering so far, but here comes the F-16 just sticking out the jab and leg kick. Mike Zambidis, the little pit bull terrier from Athens in Greece. A big left hook there from Zambidis. Sweat just flying off the barrel of Forrester. He's under hammer again, Shannon Forrester. High right round kick from Zambidis. Zambidis headhunting now in the third round. He will not relent on Shannon Forrester. Okay, stop. Taking more next to the front door. Another standing count here from the living legend Dave Hedgecock. Shannon Forrester has been overwhelmed. Here comes Zambidis, a big tub thumping right hand, and he's straight back on him. Zambidis just won't let up. He just won't relent. Another big overhand right. Forrester's gone through the roofs. My word, it's good night on ring. A devastating victory for Iron Mike Zambidis hammer. He is the best kickboxer on the planet, Iron Mike Zambidis.
Well, Zambidis just an absolute ball of power. Hardly used his kicks. Just absolutely unloaded with those hand techniques, left and rights. Didn't give Shannon any time to answer. As I said, when you've got those punches coming in, Shannon just covering, trying to work that lead thigh of Zambidis, but Zambidis just so much power coming from a fighter of his size, really loads up and just rolls those shoulders straight through with 100% force behind them. And Forrester never really had a chance to answer, and when he did, Zambidis was all over him and just copped him with anything he tried to throw back. So Forrester unfortunately getting caught by Zambidis, and just no relent from the attack of Zambidis. And as I said, under Thai rules, probably Forrester could have grappled and tied and Zambidis up, but that wasn't the case in this USA rules fight. And under kickboxing, certainly Zambidis is world class. And there it is, unfortunately for Forrester, just going out of the ring, and the fight going the way of Zambidis.
Let's go across to Andy Raymond.
At a time of 48 seconds of the third round, the referee stops the contest. Your winner and retaining his belt, Michael Zambidis.
Are you going to interview him?
Once again, a smile on the face of Iron Mike, and I'll call Stan Longanides in. There isn't much he can't do. When looking at his strengths, they're everywhere, and there's very few weaknesses.
First of all, I know I can say this on behalf of Michael, because we expected a tough fight today. I promised him a tough fight, and I know I delivered with a tough opponent. I don't want to take nothing away from the young boy, the local boy, Shannon. I know he's a good fighter, but I said I've got something special here, and if he stays smart, stays humble, and keeps paying the price that he does, he will reap all the rewards in his weight class.
Well said, Stan Longanides. Michael Zambidis was in action last week in Sydney. 1 round last week, 3 rounds. You're looking very good, Iron Mike.
Θα το πω στα ελληνικά. Θα ήθελα πρώτα απ' όλα να ευχαριστήσω όλο αυτόν τον κόσμο και ειδικά τους Έλληνες.
He wants to thank all these people here personally and all the Greek support that he gets.
Ευχαριστώ τον Τάρικ που μου δίνει αυτή την ευκαιρία, τον Stan the Man που χωρίς αυτόν θα ήμουν πραγματικά πολύ πίσω. Με βοηθάει όχι μόνο μέσα στα άσημια, αλλά και έξω από το ring, και κάτι ακόμα, τον προπονητή μου, τον Γιώργο το Μάλιο.
He wants to thank Tarek Solak for the opportunities. In fact, we are talking with Tarek now about doing a 3-year deal in kickboxing fights. So he's very thankful and he appreciates the opportunity. He hopes he can keep performing in Australia and pleasing the crowd. He wants to thank his trainer back in Greece as well, George Malius, who we all love, and he's a great man, and he appreciates the work that I'm doing for him as well. Thank you.
I'm quite sure he does, and he's going from strength